Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's October the 14th, and it's World Maths Day. Yes, I said maths. I'll get an explanation for that, why, a little bit later in the video. Enjoy it. Thanks for joining me for WJHS News. I'm Mr. Kazmaier. For lunch today, Jacob's Pizza or turkey wrap, seasoned green beans, assorted fruit, and a plethora of milk. We'd like to wish a happy birthday to the following students: Hunter Chipley and Maureen Rusomano. We are having Pastries with Parents this Friday in the cafeteria from 7:30 to 8:10 a.m. Hope you turned in your slip to Mr. Kreft. Those that did can enjoy some delicious donuts with your parents this Friday morning. Monday through Friday is our book fair here at Washington. Everyone will get a chance to visit the library with their language arts teacher. Make sure to bring your money to buy some really cool books and some items from the book fair. Student council members, there is a meeting after school tonight from 3:05 to 3:45 in room 214. If you're unable to attend, please let Mrs. Mueller or Mrs. Ferguson know. Attention any girl interested in playing basketball. Please pick up a flyer outside the attendance office which has information pertaining to open gyms and tryouts. You must have a physical on file to participate, no exceptions. Students, please join us next Monday for our annual candlelight walk at Whitmer. Gates open at 6 p.m. and the event runs from 6:30 to 8 at the Whitmer Stadium. Our essay winner for this year's Candlelight Walk is Jenna Roberts. Congratulations, Jenna. Mrs. Spenhoff will be sharing some of Jenna's essay at the Candlelight Walk. We hope to see you all there. And just a reminder, students, there is a scheduled 2-hour delay tomorrow. School will start at 10:15 and there will be no breakfast served in the morning. Have a fantastic day, everybody.
Maths type stuff.
Do the math for me.
This is the story of maths.
So you're me in your math class.
Science without maths.
Emotions run high about maths versus math. If you're an American living in Britain, you will have been corrected a lot and told things like, you know, what's wrong with you Americans? Don't you realize that there's an S on the end of mathematics, so you need an S on the end of math?
You are an American living in Britain.
I am an American living in Britain.
Tell me about how much problem this causes you.
Well, I mean, it's enough that I now say maths because I don't want to have an argument. Well, it's only in the 19th century that people started abbreviating mathematics. And at that point, the first known use of math is from 1847. That's what the Oxford English Dictionary has recorded. There, you know, people are using it with a full stop, or a period, as we Americans say. And there's not a lot of evidence there that people were actually saying it. It looks like it started out as an abbreviation in writing and not an abbreviation in speech. So that's going, you know, that starts around 1847. It's not till 1911 that we see maths with an S. And again, it looks like people weren't probably saying it then. They were probably just writing it, you know, in course catalogs or things like that. English people will say to me, there's an S on the end of mathematics, so you need to put the S on the end of maths, which, you know, I counter, but we don't put the last letter from other abbreviations onto the end of those abbreviations. So when you say fax instead of facsimile, you don't say faxi, just because there's an E on the end of fax. So that argument that you should put the last letter onto an abbreviation I don't quite understand, except that a lot of people say this because they believe that mathematics is plural. And so you have to use the S to mark the plural in mathematics on maths. The problem with that is that mathematics isn't plural. You don't say, there are two mathematics that I need to look at. And when you make maths or mathematics agree with a verb, you make it agree with a singular verb, not a plural one. So you don't say mathematics are interesting. You say maths is interesting. So you use, you know, there's plenty of linguistic evidence that that's a singular. But people see the S and think, if there's an S on the end of the noun, it must be plural.
Does that mean Americans have this deeper understanding of what constitutes plural?
No, I don't think so. I think it's that, and I don't think necessarily that British people put the S on the end because they did think it was plural. It was the habit that was got into, probably because it was first a written form, and in written forms you might abbreviate things all sorts of ways. But once they saw the S there, they interpreted it as plural. So, this is what we call a folk etymology. You see something with a form that looks familiar, and you assume it has that form for a reason. And so people are always looking for reasons why their form of the language is more logical than the other. And the problem is that language, especially language on the vocabulary level, doesn't follow logic. Vocabulary is just anything goes.